Welcome everybody, this is Crypto, and this is going to be the first episode of Tweakin in the Pit, where I am going to look at interesting strategies and try to improve them or adjust them to suit my liking. Hopefully make them a little bit better, adjust the risk, adjust the payout a little bit. Just generally doing some tweaking and seeing what we can come up with when we start with someone else's strategy that has some good bones to it. I'm going to try to do this fairly regularly, and these are going to be long form videos. They might be an hour, might be an hour and a half, depending on what's involved with the strategy. And I'm going to be trying to run the original strategy side by side with the adjusted strategy that I come up with to see where, if holes are filled or if payouts are improved, and overall see if we can improve the overall profitability of the original strat. So today we're focusing on a little strat that I've dubbed the CokoButter. If anybody watched Pro Craps' Coffee and Craps yesterday morning, he ran a variant of the Butterburg, and I really liked what he was doing there. It had some good principles to it. It was not intuitive to what most craps players would play, but the fundamentals of it were pretty sound. Unfortunately, he didn't do too good with it because he kept rolling the worst possible numbers. But I took what he did and I started playing with it, and I identified a couple potential holes or inefficiencies in the strategy, and I I monkeyed with it a little bit, and then I monkeyed with it a little bit more, and I came up with something that is pretty solid, I think. Even on a $25 table with only $1,000 bankroll, I think nothing's 100% foolproof. And every strategy has that one sequence of rolls that is going to bankrupt it, or at least cause you to hit your stop loss if you have one. But it's pretty solid, I have to admit. I like it a lot. So first, let's go over what John's strategy was. So if you're familiar with the Butterburg, basically the standard Butterburg that is popularized by Dantana would be a don't pass bet, followed by odds after the come out, and bets across, and as each number is hit, it gets pulled down. And it's a pretty good strategy. John's variant added laying the back wall for 200 to a $25 don't pass, and then once the point is set, any the 5 remaining lay bets here would get pushed forward. So if the point was, say, a 5, he'd lose the 5, obviously, but then he'd have 5 bets, and the 4 and 10s would be buys. And then as he'd roll, say he rolled a 6, the 6 would come down and get paid, and he would pull it down. He also was running 150 in odds after the point was set. And so after he hit three numbers, say he hit the 10 and the 6 and the 8, he would take down his odds. He would take down whatever remaining bets there were, and he put it as an option to just cover the point. And if the point hit, you win a little extra. If the point doesn't hit, then it's covered. You don't lose anything extra there. So I thought that was very interesting. I like the way he's played. I don't often like a lot of the lay the back wall strategies that I see, but I was impressed with this one. I was really impressed with it, and it had a lot of good parts to it that made me want to experiment with it. Let's see, where was I? Let's see. So let's go ahead and get these bets back here, and I actually came up with two variations. That I've kind of landed on one, but I'm going to show you the intermediate step because it has merit too. I do believe it has merit in certain circumstances. And that first variant that I came up with was do the lay the back wall and the don't pass exactly the same. Okay. What I like about this is your 7 is a big on a come out is a big time winner. You don't worry about the 11 because it's only two options or two possibilities versus three possibilities. So because you got one way to roll a 2, 2 ways to roll a 3, and only 2 ways to roll an 11. So I got 3 to 2 chance of winning. So I'm still in an advantage. You might lose 1 or 2 here and there. You're gonna win a few more than you're gonna lose, most likely. And if you hit the 7, which in experimentation, I had one roll where I hit the 7 5 times on the come out, and by that time you're pretty much done. You don't even have to continue it. You've at this level you've won quite a bit of money. I think close to $500. So at $1,000 bankroll, that's a 50% gain on one come out roll, and you haven't even started anything else. You could just take it down and say see ya. And if anybody is a dark side player, we all know that son of a bitch that comes out and throws 4, 5, sometimes even 6 or 7 come out 7s and just ruins your night. Well, playing this, that son of a bitch is now your best friend. And I'd give him a tip. So here we go. So we showed John's strategy. We're going to start here the same way. The difference is once I get the point, say the point is an 8, and I lose that, I'm going to, on an 8 or a 6, I'm only coming up with 120 in odds. And I'll get, that will cover $100 of place bets. So they can be any 4 place bets you want at the $25 level. So if you want to play the 4 and 10, you take these down, take the nickels off, and just play the quarters. If you want to play the 5 and 9s with 5 and 9 with them, you can do that. And then whatever bet is left over, you take that down with it. I like to play something like this. So if I got an 8, I'll take 4, 5, and 6 and the 9. If I got a 6, I'll just do it the other way. If I get a 5, then I'll play the uptown. If I get a 9, I play the downtown. You can do any 4 bets. You're covered for $100. It doesn't matter what bets you play. I just kind of like to do it this way because it mixes them up a little bit. And also, I concentrate on the ones with the highest probability. That's me. John, he thinks he can roll 4s and 10s all the time, and he likes to play that. So I would fully expect him to do something like maybe if I had a point of 9, a 4, 10, 6, and 8. That's up to him. This is all that matters. I got approximately $100 in place bets, which is fully covered, or nearly fully covered, because of the 6 and 8 having an extra $10 on them by the odds. And then I have the don't pass for an extra $25. So remember, like John was talking about, we like to hedge for more. It's not a lot more, but it's something more. So if I get a couple hits, or even if I get this hit right away, if I hit the 7, then I get all these bets covered, plus $15 because of the 6 and 8. All right. If I'm on the 5 and 9 instead of 120, I'm doing 150 for the same reason. I want to cover $100 in place bets. 5 and 9 pays 2 to 3. So 150 pays 100. If I'm on the 4 and 10, then my choice of place bets would be 110 inside with this strategy, and that'd be a $200 don't odds. Now, if you're on a 3, 4, 5 table, you can only put 150 in odds against the $25 don't. So what you would do is you put your 150 there, and you lay against the point for another 50. That gives you $200 for the cost of $2. We ain't worried about $2. So once I get a point hit, or excuse me, a place bet hit on this version of the strategy, let me get this out of the way. Say I hit the 9. Okay, I would take the 9 down and get paid. If I have this, then I'm gonna take this down to let's see, what was I doing? I was taking down by 50, taking down one level. So I was still covering the place bets that I have up here. So 150 pays on the 10 pays 75. That covers the 75 roughly. Okay. If I hit a second number, then this would come down to cover just what is placed. So $50. I would pull that back down and drop my odds down to 75. On the 5 and 9, very similar. On that first hit, say I hit the 5, then that's going to come down to what was it? Oh, sorry, it's supposed to be 150. That's going to come down by $30 to 120, which 120 pays 80. Close enough. On that second hit, say I hit the 10, then it's going to come down to 60. Is that right? No. Sorry. 75. 75 pays 50, covers this. I still have that extra don't. Extra $25 on the don't. So I'm always getting a little bit of play out on 7. The difference between this and John's strategy was for the first couple hits, especially on the 5, 9, 4, and 10, he's not getting full pay. He wasn't quite getting full pay. So because he had $200 up here, minus 30 is 170. So if he had a point of 10, then he was only getting paid 75 with a $150 don't. If he had a 5 and 9, then he was getting paid 100, so he's still 75 in the hole. And if he had the 6, he was getting paid 125, so he was still $50 in the hole, roughly. And that's how that goes. And once I get my third hit, I do the same thing. You know, either take it down, leave the don't, or you know, place the point and just wait for the 7 or the point to come. All right. This strategy I'm not going to be showing tonight in the rollout. I tried to do this last night, and I found that trying to run all 3 strategies at one time caused a lot of mistakenly put the wrong chips in the wrong tray. And that just made things confusing, and it took longer. So I'm just making you aware of this variant. Let's get back to where we were. Let's see here. So let's see. Yeah, go. 1, 3. No. Goes that way button. Okay. So say I got my points hit. Let's get this out of the way. This is just a little bit different because the focus on the lay on the odds is a little bit different. Here, if I say I make I set a point of 9. Again, I'm going to put up 150 on the 9. Same formula as on the previous one. So 120 on the 6 if it's a point of 6 and 8. 6 or 8, 150 if the point is 5 or 9, 200 if it's 4 or 10. And here's the difference on this one. When I come up, let's say if I got the 9, I'm coming up here. This comes by. This goes back in my rack, and I get. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's not good. Let's see. This would go over here, there, okay, and then this, of course, would come down. All right, so I have 110. All right. If I get my point, say I roll an 8, when I hit that 8, not only am I taking that $30 risk off, but I'm also getting paid 35. So that 35 is going to cover one of these. So what we're going to do is I've now got half the risk because half the original risk is in my rack plus a little bit extra. So I will take this down, whatever it is, I would cut it in half. So let's see. Let's go ahead and get. So from 150 on the 9, we'd go down to 75. On the 6 and 8, we'd go down on after the first hit, we'd go down to 60. On the 4 and 10, we'd go down to 100. So we'd take down this lay if we were doing that, or plus $50, we'd only have a $100 don't if your point was 4 or 10, and so forth. 75 for 5 and 9, 60 left for the 6 and 8. You might ask, well, why would you do that? Because it's at an advantage. Well, no, it's not. This is at an advantage. This pays even money for an advantage bet. So I have a better chance to hit the 7 than I do the point. But it pays even money. That's an advantage bet. This is pure risk. It may be risk with a purpose. And that's important. There's nothing wrong with placing risk if there's a purpose to it. And the purpose of this risk is to hedge the place bets, whether that's partially or fully. And here in this version, I'm only covering the actual risk that I have left on the table. Since I pulled one down and one is covered, this is my only risk. So I only need to cover to $50. Okay? Alright, so say the second number hits. Say I hit the 4. 4 comes down. I take my odds down completely. I leave the don't pass because I still want that advantage bet on the 7. And then if I get the third hit, bam, alright. I might do this. I might pull it down. Doesn't really matter. If I pull them both down, I have $50 in my rack. If I do this, then I have $50 in my rack. If I do this, I might have $75 in my rack, or I might have $25 in my rack. It's all the same. This has a slight advantage, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's that great of an advantage. So whichever you want. This is beautiful because I still have I have a small chance of winning an extra $10, or if it's here, I might risk 5 to win. I might risk 5 to win 10 or lose 5. If you're not at a $25 table, heck, if you're on the 6 and 8. Come up for 24. If the 7 comes, you win $1. If the 6 or 8 come, then you win 3. It doesn't really matter. $5 here or there, it's not gonna break my bank. I'll make it up on the next one. All right. And so those are my 3 variants. So that's what we're gonna run this version and John's original version, and see how they go. See where we're at. So been talking for almost 30 minutes now. So we're going to go ahead and try to roll it out fairly quickly. Let me put this back here, and then we'll get started. Alrighty. Okay, so let's see. Let's do John there and me here. So this is John, and John's going to be at the back of the box. I'm going to be at the front of the box. So let's start out. Let's go ahead and break out some of these so easy to get in and out. Okay. All right, so we're starting with 1,000. We got 4. This was 5. So that's 9 and 100 nickels. Same here. Let's go. So that's John. Yeah, knocking my chips all over the place. All right, and that's me. Let's go ahead and get John in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go ahead and get his. So we got 40 on the 10, 30 each on the 5, 6, 8, and 9, and then 40 on the 4. As far as I can tell, the only reason to have 40 on the 4 and 10, not only because it makes it $200, a nice round number, is some casinos require you to be able to win $20 before they'll let you lay. If your casino lets you lay 30 on the 4 and 10, nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're only giving up $10 payout if the 7 rolls. So nothing wrong with that. All right, so here's his lay button. All right, let's get mine going here. In fact, we're going to do corner, and I'm going to be up in the front corners. That way it makes it even easier for us to determine who's who. All right, and I'm doing the same thing. 40 on the 4 and 10, 30 on everything else. All right. There, that way it's a little easier for you to see what's up. We got 400s, whatever that is. Okay, so let's get some dice. Let me put my little lay button on here. And here we go. We roll. And we got a point of 6. So 6 is the point. 6 is going to lose for both of us. I am going to come down, return $15 off the 10. Come down, return $5 off the 5. Come down with the 8 and that was the 9, and then come down and return $5 off the 5. John is just moving forward. Oh, and I'm also going to take down my 4 entirely. Okay. John is just moving on up. And he's got a buy on the 4 and 10. So that point was a 6. And here we go. We roll. All right. We got deuce. Aces in both places. Doesn't help us, doesn't hurt us. 7 out. All right. So, oh, sorry. John had a lay bet up here of 150, and as per the instructions, I had a lay bet of 120. This is not good for either of us. We lose these. Oh, excuse me. Well, it's not too bad anyway. I'm sorry. I was thinking of something else. All right, so John is going to lose all his place bets. All right, so I'm going to stick that there. And he is going to win 125. 2, 3, 4, 5. And 25 for the flat. So he lost 20 additional dollars. Okay. And then this comes back to his rack. Okay. I am going to lose all this here. And I'm going to get paid $100. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll just get rid of that nickel because I get paid on the flat. So I profited $20. He lost 20. I profited 20. That's the first thing that is a little bit of a difference there. All right, so let's go ahead and get those back up in there. This is mine. Let's see. He goes 25. We want to keep these losses over here. Let's see. Let's get him back up. 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3. And this was one of the holes that John was running into when he was trying to roll it out yesterday. Is those quick 7 outs, and occasionally he'd hit the point really quick too. Which hitting the point really quick is that's almost worse. That's going to be worse than hitting the quick 7 out without hitting any of your place bet numbers. I mean, because you're gonna lose your leg completely, and the don't. So we want to try to minimize that as much as possible, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and get it back up. This takes a bit to set up, so please be patient with me. I am not a professional dealer, as you can probably tell. Alright, so there's a lay. It's a lay. These dice are dead. Dice are out. Let's get the puck off. Here we go. We roll. Alright, we got a point of 10. Okay, so we're each going to lose $40. And the point's 10. John is coming out with 150. I'm coming out. My local casino's 10 times table, and I don't feel like splitting the bets, so which is essentially all the same. So we're just gonna lay 200 behind the don't. In fact, I could at my casino I could lay up to 20 times odds on the don't. So that's up to $500 if I wanted to against a quarter on the don't. No problem for me. $200 fits right in there. Okay, so we're gonna move mine up, and we're gonna get rid of the chips that I wanted to keep. There we go. And then John is moving up everything. So this is the slight advantage he has is since I don't have a 4, if he starts hitting that 4, or if I don't have a 10, he's hitting the 10, he's got an extra number. That can help him, but sometimes it can hurt him too. Dice are out. All right, we got a 9. Yeah, we hit one. All right, so I'm going to come up, and that is going to pay 35. All right, and I'm going to put that over here. And John's going to get paid 42. So 25, 30, 35, 40. We'll put this over here and get 5, 42. All right. See what? Oh, this is John's too. That's John's too. Okay. Now the 9 is down. It can no longer help us. There we go. Let's go again. 5. That's good. Oh, wait. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. This was supposed to come down. I got to remember these things. There's a lot to keep track of with 2 bankrolls. Please excuse me, or hey, whisper in my ear and remind me next time. So 5. My odds are coming down completely. So I only have $25 don't. If all of a sudden he rolls a 10, John's going to get paid more than me. Or, excuse me, rolls a 7, John's going to get paid more than me here. But he's got more up here at risk. Let's see. So let's go ahead and pay John. He's going to get $42. All right. And I'm going to get paid. Oh, where? I guess I'm going to have to take it out of here. $35. Okay. So let's get another roll going. Oh, and there's the 7. Well, so John's CokoButter strategy here, he's going to get a little bit of an advantage over me because he's going to get paid. Let's see, was it $75? So there's $75 that pays that, and he's got $25 there, so he breaks even on the rest of this hand. I'm going to lose $30, but I'm going to get paid there. All right. So let's go again. Points off. Let's see. We'll put that there in our rack. Let's see. And then let's go ahead and get a quarter for him there. Let's get John up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And for me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for John, let's go ahead and get these out of here. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And we'll put that back in. Put that back in the rack here. There we go. Let's go ahead and rack this back up and get it out of the way. And then for me, same deal. And one there. All right. New dice. We're coming out. 6. Lose the 6. I don't need a what. You guys know what size, what part of it is what by now, I hope. So instead of fumbling with lammers, we're just going to keep rolling it. All right. So on a 6, I'm coming up here. Take that down. There. That. Stack it up. And no, we're not doing a 4. John is just moving everything up. Okay, 0.6. And John's got 150 in odds. I've got 120. There we go. Yo, 11. Doesn't help us, don't hurt us. 5. We like the 5. John's going to get paid. There's his 41, 42. And it comes down. Set that there. And I'm going to get paid here. $35. All right. And over here, I'm going to drop this down to $60. Here we go. 5, don't help. 8, very good. All right, John's going to get paid $35. Stick that there, and I'm going to get paid $35. All right, and I'm also going to take down my odds completely and leave my don't. There we go. 7 out. All right, I lose this, get paid there. There's that. John is going to lose all this. Lose all that and get paid here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and loses 10. All right, points off. Let's go ahead and just keep it running here. All right, so this is mine, so we're going to put that here. This is his. Stick that there. Just make sure I don't have any quarters in there. Let's get these pennies out of my dang way. Both have our 4. Both have our 4. Here's his quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. All right, and for me, oh, 1, 2, 3. Nope. Don't want to mix those in. Okay. Grab some dice. Here we go. 8. All right, so we lose and lose on 8. This is coming down for me. This moves up and pull a nickel. This moves up and pulls a nickel. No, excuse me. No, it doesn't. This pulls up and pulls a nickel, and this pulls up and pulls 15. John just moves up everything. There we go. We got an 8. There's our point. Oh, shit, sorry. We had a $150 donut. You guys were supposed to remind me. And I had 120. Okay, so we're going to lose here. All right, and then we're just going to point is off, and then we're going to push this back up. and fill in any gaps. Alright, so John's needs that there, and a nickel. Let's put this in the rack and put this quarter down here. I think he's good. I'm coming up here. And let's see, I need 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Last shooter. I think you've seen enough. Oh, sorry. Had that there. This is the beautiful part. This is the beautiful part. So we rolled a 7 on the come out. So we lose this. But we each get paid up here. So 40 is going to win 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9's going to win 20. 8's going to win 25. And the same thing mirrored over here. So that is 50, 65. So we win 65 and 65. So that's 100. And then 30. So I gotta win 130 to cover that little $25 don't pass. Oh, actually, hold on. We can do that. Let's do it this way. 130. John's gonna get paid 130, and these bets are up. So we each profited 105 off the 7 hit. That's one thing I really do like. So let's go back up on the don't. That made up for a good bit of what we were losing here with all these quick points and stuff. Let's see. Here we go. And we got an 8. Gotta love the 8. All right. So we're going. This is coming down. 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 This goes everything else. John's, it should come straight down. We got 150 odds. And I got 120 odds. Let's see, we're doing, we're pretty close. We're pretty close here. This is just the way these rolls have been going. It's not been very favorable. And there's a 7. So same deal. We'll go ahead and take John's money here. And he's going to get paid 125 on the back. 25 on the front. I'm going to take my money here. 1, 2, 3, that. Going to get paid 100 on the back and 25 on the front. We'll keep this nickel. Well, let's go ahead and counter up. All right, so let's see where we came out at. So this is the important part, the interesting part. I think we're both down a little bit because of the way the rolls were coming. We never got through a full set, but I think, let's see here. Let's count John's first. There's 400. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 500, 600, 700, 825. Oh, let's get one more there. All right. Let's see. So that's 4, 5. Just so you can see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 75, 81. So 881. And here's mine. We got the 400. Same. See? Five, 6, 7, 8, 50. $920. So this is, you saw what it is. I mean, sometimes John won a little bit more. Sometimes I lost a little bit less. You know, this it's just a matter of efficiency. And in the short little roll here, with no real great wins, is not going to show a lot, but it shows the difference between 881 and 920. That's almost $40 difference in five shooters that were not really going very favorable at all. So I hope John gets a chance to look at this, and we can kind of play with it a little bit. Maybe we can find a couple of more places that we can tune it a little bit so that it's a solid strat. And I mean, you know, it's pretty solid right now. Either way, it's not that bad. Even with John's here, I mean, I did one yesterday when I ran all this the first time, and I screwed a couple things up in the beginning, and I forgot to record any audio on that 128 minute recording. So I didn't end up using it. I'm re-recording it tonight. But in that one, John's version was only down $2 at the end of it. And that middle ground one that I showed you, that was up 100, and this one was up 220. 220 or 230, something like that. So it's just about tuning the little efficiencies. I mean, that's what I do with my strats. I'm constantly tweaking on my strats. I mean, the Crypto's Trident, that wasn't the first iteration of that. That was probably the fourth or fifth iteration of that, until I found the little places that I wanted to, you know, I wanted to leave a little space here, or I wanted to tighten it up there. I wanted to make this 7 a little bit more on the don't, or I wanted to make the 6 and 8 a little bit less. Maybe they need to be a little bit more. Nope, I like them just like that. You know, you should do this with every strategy, especially strategies that you find on the internet, YouTube. I mean, we're all humans. We're all fallible. We ain't Albert Einstein of craps. I mean, there might be a couple of us out there that are pretty damn good, and I can name a few names. Especially Charlie with DGE. Jacob's pretty good. Jacob's really good. I like John. John's got some really good strategies, and there's a few others out there that are pretty good. But you know, we're all humans. We're all fallible. We all have our own biases, and so whenever you find a strategy you like, this is what you should do. Run it a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen times. See where the holes are. See where it's failing. Where are the losses coming from? And ask yourself, well, how can I fill those losses, or make it so they're not so severe? Can I do that without sacrificing profit too much? And that's how you tweak a strategy, just like this. So it's looks like it's been about an hour. I don't want to go too long. This has been Tweaking in the Pit with Crypto. Y'all Have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace out.